What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Max Boneyard Builds. So, on the last episode, I think we slapped on those manifolds. They were hitting the frame. I tried massaging the pipes, couldn't get them to move over. So, did a quick short a few days ago, but the LS swap manifolds came in for the OBS project. Let's take a quick look. I'll show you what they look like. I'll show you what the stock manifolds on this OBS look like. Then we'll get them switched out, and then we'll see what the difference is. Let's check them out. Alright guys, here's the passenger side. I'm telling you what, these things, if you look at them, you know, there's straight up and down. Like they barely kick off the block. So they're going to be nice and tight on the block. They're just your standard manifold. I mean, if I had to guess, it's probably comparable to like a Camaro manifold. Fits nice and tight, snug up against the block. It's got a 2-bolt flange on it. Casting and everything looks great. Everything looks nice and flush for mounting to the heads. I'm not seeing any imperfections or nothing. Got them off the old Evil Bay. Deep motor. Deep motor. That's who I got them from. 120 bucks. Came with your flanges. Came with some gaskets if you need them, and it also came with some hardware. So 120 bucks, man, you can't beat that. Let's go take a look at the factory manifold. We'll get one of them off, get the other one on there. I'll tell you, let you guys see what the difference is. All right, guys, gonna start taking these O2 factory manifolds off. Already got a few bolts pulled out, but I'm just gonna try and show the difference between these swap manifolds and these factory ones. As you can see, it runs right, it kicks over to the right. These O2 manifolds do. And that's what's rubbing on that frame. Tried massaging it to get it to miss. You can just kind of see it way down in there. Those other ones should kick over better, have a little better profile to them. So I'll get this off, get that other one snipped on, so you guys can see the difference. Alright guys, there is the difference. As you can see back here where it collects, before it was rubbing, you might even see some rub marks. Yeah, you can see down there on the frame where it was kind of rubbing a little bit. Look how much further off that is now. Kicks way off. Yeah, there's a stock one down there on the ground. But yeah, you can see now we have tons of room for activities. I'll try and get you spun in here a couple different directions. I mean, there is just tons of room down there now. Everything fit great. I'm telling you, they look great. It's just a regular old manifold. Nice, stock looking. Should work out fine for this project. I'm telling you, if you're doing a hot rod, especially something with a really small engine bay, like a you know, a Tri-5 or something like that, excuse me, these things would turn out really good. 120 bucks, deep motor, eBay, LS swap manifolds. Let's get the passenger side on and see what it looks like. Again, here's a reminder. Sitting really tight down here. It's also sitting super tight. Just spun down in there. Maybe not. Sitting really tight right there against the frame too. So get this one switched out. See how much room we gain by switching to the LS swap manifolds off eBay. Alright, Houston, I don't know if we've got a problem or not. Number one, the bolts here did not like the hold down for the oil tube. It was too tight up and through here. So took that off, and I don't think that's gonna hurt anything really. Number two, slide you in down here, the collector's not hitting where that top A-arm bolts up. There's space all the way around it, but that collector is kind of over top the frame. I'm going to get underneath there, see if the pipe will clear. I think if the pipe will clear, we should still be good to go, because it's just going to be swinging back at a 45 or whatever back that way. But I'm telling you, that was close too. The service port that we used for the temperature reading for the dash, man, that was a tight fit too, but it finally fit. But there they are, LS swap manifolds. They look good, tons of room for your spark plugs. You don't have to worry about getting special boots or burning them up or anything like that. I mean, even these are just the factory ones. Slide one in there. You've got room around it, so it shouldn't be burning up any plug wires or anything, and we should be good to go there. So, see, some of those are pretty tight on aftermarket ones, but that's got room just like a factory manifold all the way around it. So, let me get under there and see what it looked like from the bottom side. Alright, sorry for the weird glare, but there's your driver's side. As you can see, there's all the room in the world on the driver's side. So that is phenomenal. Of course, that's the one that was rubbing the worst in the beginning. Here's passenger side. As you can see, I think it's going to clear. I think once we get the flange on there, because there's room for the flange, and it's not rubbing anything. So I think once we get the flange on there, the exhaust pipes, man, that's a weird glare. It's going to kick back that way, this way. That nice open hole above the starter, and we should be good to go. It's kind of weird how it sits like that, but man, I'll tell you what, they're nice and tight against the block. So if you guys are doing, like I said, a Tri-5 or something with a small engine bay, like a Model A LS swap conversion or something crazy, I don't know, some sort of gasser or something, man, these things would definitely be the way to go. Alright guys, so once we get that flange on there, I got some of these 45s. Once they get kicked on there, should hopefully come back this way. It's got to come up a little higher though. I'm going to have to cut down a little bit of this pipe, get it cut at an angle. That way whenever it sits up against that flange, it comes up where it needs to be. Just a little bit more, I think. See, so this way, whenever that flange is sitting like this, I'm going to cut that at an angle, so whenever I weld that onto there, it should kick this exhaust pipe back straight. Where before this was a straight cut, so whenever it sat against this flange like this, it was kicking the pipe down. So now I'm going to cut this at an angle, so when it sits against that flange, it's going to come back straight. And I'm just going to keep slowly working this down, keep putting this back up there until I get it coming back straight to get where I want it before I weld the flange to my downpipe. Alright guys, not the easiest to see, but what I did is I took the flange, ground off that paint that was on there because we need a good welding surface. Whenever this flange was up on the bottom of the manifold, I kept pieing this pipe out more and more until I got it to where it would sit flush to where my 45 was sitting nice and straight going down my tunnel. Then, instead of getting the welder underneath there, what I did was I put the flange on the bottom of the manifold and I laid this down flat to where I wanted it until I lined up the pipe where I needed it. Then I made 3 marks, as you can see, with that paint marker, so that way I know, you know, it's not going to be sitting like this because that third line's not going to match up. So now I know it's going to be sitting like this. I'll get it tacked on, run a bead around it, and then that'll be one downpipe done. And I also picked up one of these guys some O2 bungs. So I had to drill a hole out and put an O2 on there. So that way we can get the O2 on there. But that's the process I'm doing. It's kind of hard to show you guys underneath there, but put my flange on the manifold, got my pipe where I wanted it, held it in place, marked it a few times with the marker, so that way once all my lines line up, I know I've got it in place and I can get it welded on. You know those really bad, your brother just got a welder and it looks really bad type welds? That's this guy. Don't ever pay me to weld anything up. I'll make sure it's stuck together. It ain't gonna be pretty. So, now we got that welded together. I'm gonna grind that off to make it look halfway pretty. Put some paint on there. It's welded together. I don't have the welding skills necessary. Anyways, then we're going to get one of our O2 bungs. We're going to come in here, drill a hole, weld that baby on there like that. Once I figure out where I want it at exactly, this thing's so hot I can't handle it right now, but that's okay. I don't know which side it needs to go on, but anyways, drill your hole out, put it on there, weld that baby on. Anyways, you get the process. I'm not going to bore you with tons of them, but bam, bam, bam. Keep knocking it out. Hopefully we'll have some exhaust on here before long. Alright guys, ran a step bit down to 5/8. Popped it inside the pipe. Got the O2 sensor out of the old stock manifold. That 5/8 hole is perfect for your O2 sensor to make its way inside there. Now we're going to get our bung, put that on there, weld that up, we'll be good to go. Just want to say, kind of redeemed myself, kinda, on the O2 bung. Not bad. A lot better than the flange. Alright, got it set up, good to go. So there we go guys, it's connected to our flange up here, swings down, sweeps to like a 45. We got our O2 sensor plugged in, comes up over the cross member here. That's just a 24-inch stick of pipe. Got it, but now I can keep running with the exhaust. I'm probably gonna run it back. You can see the end of the tail shaft. There's the gas tank. I'm probably gonna run in one more stick of pipe, then just dump it here right at the first part of the cab or something, or I'm not quite sure. I got these old Flowmasters. I ran on the blue one for a while. They weren't loud enough for me, but they'll be plenty loud for the boys, so I'll probably just get one more stick of pipe, bring it up, dump it here, or it'll be in front of that cross member or something. But man, if I have not motivated anybody to do anything, you can all do this yourself. It may not be the prettiest, it may not be winning any exhaust building competitions or anything, but everything's possible yourself, guys. Get yourself a little 110 welder, a little bit of practice. Of course, I got to get a clamp on that where it butts together. But there you go, guys. I'm going to go ahead and call it a win and start working on the passenger side. There you go, guys. I want to keep working on the passenger side. I ain't going to bore you with a super long video. You guys get the gist. Get your hands dirty. I have faith in everybody. If this guy can do it, it may not be pretty, but if this guy can do it, you can do it too. Get yourself a little 110 welder. Take your time. Make your cuts. You can always take off more. Make small cuts. Get it to fit. Piece it together. We're going to get some exhaust on this OBS project before you know it. That way, hopefully, we can play with it a little more, because them open headers, this guy, I'm just too old. Can't do it. So, anyways, you guys are awesome. We have surpassed 1,500 subscribers. Each and every one of you, I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Man, we are clearing numbers all the time. I'm trying to throw out some shorts, trying to draw people into the channel and stuff. Man, I appreciate it very much. I appreciate all of you for stopping by. Don't forget, merch, it's out there. Just saying. I priced it as low as I possibly could. I think I make like 40 cents a t-shirt. I make no money off of it. I just want to get you guys some cool merch. Shop down there somewhere. Grab yourself a t-shirt or something. Summer's right around the way. Just had a handful of new designs put up there. So I want to thank you for stopping by Max Boneyard Builds. I want to get this exhaust buttoned up, and I'll see you next time.